Good morning and welcome to Creekside 2. Creekside 2 is not on the creek, but as you can tell by the surroundings, it is somewhat secluded. And just a stone's throw from out there in the distance is the big, beautiful new facility building with dishwashing station. Somebody built a fine pit here. This is your typical non-electric primitive cabin, $98.25 for 2 nights on reserveamerica.com. But I'm going to take you through what I do when I go camping. Hopefully you'll learn a few things, and I'd be happy to be taught a few things. I burn softwood in the fire pit, never in the wood-burning stove because it creates pitch, and that could cause a chimney fire. I do, however, keep a generous supply, a little darker in here than I thought, a generous supply of hardwood near the stove, but not close enough that it will ignite, spontaneously combust. Here's something that really makes my life easier, especially through the night. I have one very large box of kindling, which consists of kiln-dried wood I split up before I even go camping, and then another box of both cardboard and newspaper, so I can, with just a couple of coals, I'll get a fire going in the middle of the night. I always keep a wide brim jug handy just in case of emergencies. You can use your imagination on that one. Anyways, sleeping bag. I have a large comforter here, old, beat up, but trusty, which I wash frequently, and I use that for a foundation for the mattress and then another throw on top of that. Now, before I get settled in, I take some bleach, all-purpose cleaner with bleach right here, and an old rag, and I wipe down all usable surfaces, including the ones I sit at, the tabletop, the benches, and I always use a bench as a nightstand right here. It comes in very handy. If you'll notice on the floor, again, the lighting's not good. Get you a little more in here. On the floor, I use a rug sample, and I also use those on the benches to make life a little bit more comfortable, and the fireplace benches as well. Oh, a couple of snap traps and some peanut butter may save you some trouble. Not that there's ever mice in here, but once in a while. Always have an axe handy. It comes in handy as both a hammer and to split up more kindling if needed. Now, this has replaced my Coleman gear, which I still have a lot of, and that is a 60-watt equivalent LED light. And with that, it plugs into a small power pack here that is smaller than a pack of cigarettes, and I have a backup on that too. Sometimes I burn 2, but these things will burn hours and hours on one of those little power packs and really light up your cabin like you have electric. I have a wonderful avocado stove right here. Reminds me of my childhood. I keep anything I want cooler on the periphery of the cabin because the further away from the stove, obviously the cooler it's going to be. We get plastic still in Bradford here when I go shopping there. I keep one for returnables and one for garbage. Right here is a wonderful curtain fashioned out of a contractor garbage bag because the park removes the curtains closest to the stove. Of course, I hang it up like that when I'm cooking. I don't want anything to ignite. I have one tote for my cooking gear, one tote for my drinks and dry goods, another tote for my sleeping bag, pillow, and throw. And again, if I didn't mention, when I spray the surfaces down with bleach, I also do the covers of both of these mattresses. Only these 2 because I use this to sleep on, and I use this to set my equipment on. Those 2, I don't care if the bottom of the totes are here. So I have an array of things on my nightstand. Some light reading. I like to read a couple pages a night. Not too much more because it makes my lips tired. And a lamp, a very bright lamp, and that's the first stage. Flashlight, reading glasses, my vitamins, and some drinking water as well. So this is my version of camping in a primitive cabin, and that's why I don't mind doing it, because I've gotten things together so I can hop in my car and get down here in a hurry, and a cheap date on the weekend, stay warm and cozy, and enjoy the beautiful park, which is beautiful all times of year. And there's still a lot of color here, but of course the leaves are pretty dropped. Trees are barren. You folks have a great Allegany day. Thanks for watching, and none of these videos are scripted. I just kind of go with the flow, so if you hear me stutter once in a while, that's what's going on. You folks take care.